Ever dropped $60 on a steak dinner in Canada and thought, did I just pay premium prices for glorified cafeteria meat? You're not alone. Here's the thing. Not all Canadian steakhouses are created equal, and some are charging you luxury prices for budget quality. Today, we're doing something bold. We're ranking Canada's most popular steakhouse chains from absolute worst to surprisingly worth your money. Not by how fancy their logos look or how many locations they have, but by what actually matters: flavor, consistency, value for your hard-earned Canadian dollars, and whether you'll actually want to come back. So grab your steak knife, because we're about to cut through the sizzle and get to the truth about Canadian steakhouse chains. Landing at the bottom of our list is Moxie's, and yes, we know, some of you are already typing angry comments. Hear us out. Moxie's bills itself as a casual upscale dining experience with locations across Canada. They offer steaks alongside their diverse menu of pasta, burgers, and globally inspired dishes. And that's precisely the problem. When a restaurant tries to be everything to everyone, they often excel at nothing. Multiple customer reviews consistently mention that Moxie's steaks are underwhelming. The cuts tend to be thin, often overcooked, and lack the robust, beefy flavor you'd expect when paying $30 to $40 for a steak entree. The real issue? Moxie's isn't really a steakhouse. It's a casual dining chain that happens to serve steak. Their focus is clearly on creating an Instagram-worthy atmosphere and serving a massive menu rather than perfecting the art of grilling beef. The cocktails might photograph well, but that ribeye? It's frequently described in reviews as just okay or nothing special. For the price point, many diners report feeling disappointed. When you can get a better steak at competitors for similar or even lower prices, Moxie's struggles to justify its position as a steakhouse destination. The atmosphere is trendy. The service can be hit or miss depending on location, and the steaks simply don't stand out. Moxie's ranks last because when you're specifically craving a great steak, this chain consistently fails to deliver memorable beef. It's fine for appetizers and drinks, but as a steakhouse, it's the weakest link. Montana's slides into the second worst spot as the chain that got confused about its identity. Originally positioned as a barbecue joint, Montana's added steaks to compete in the casual dining space. And it shows. With over 90 locations across Canada, Montana's is recognizable for its ski lodge aesthetic, those unlimited bread loaves with butter, and generous portions. The atmosphere is fun and family-friendly, which counts for something. Kids love the rustic cabin vibe, and the prices won't completely devastate your wallet. But here's where Montana's stumbles. The steaks are inconsistent at best and mediocre at worst. Multiple reviews mention steaks arriving overcooked even when ordered medium rare, lacking proper seasoning, and sometimes being tough or chewy. For a chain that's supposed to specialize in grilled meats, this is a red flag. The problem seems to be quality control. At some locations, you might get a decent steak. At others, you'll wonder why you didn't just order the ribs instead, which, ironically, tend to receive better reviews than their steaks. When a steakhouse is better known for its BBQ and bread, that tells you where their priorities lie. Montana's earns this ranking because, while it's not terrible, it's aggressively average when it comes to steak. The value is reasonable, and families appreciate the casual atmosphere, but serious steak lovers leave disappointed. If you're going to Montana's, stick with the ribs and save yourself the letdown. Now, this placement will definitely raise eyebrows. The Keg is arguably Canada's most iconic steakhouse chain, with over 100 locations and a reputation built over 50-plus years. So why are they sitting at number 6? Let's start with what the Keg does well. Their atmosphere is consistently upscale casual, making them perfect for business dinners, anniversaries, and special occasions. The Keg's famous garlic mashed potatoes and twice-baked potatoes have achieved legendary status. Their signature prime rib, when available, can be genuinely excellent. And their bar program is solid with good cocktails and an extensive wine list. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The Keg's reputation is increasingly built on nostalgia rather than current excellence. Many longtime customers report noticing a decline in quality over recent years, particularly at certain locations. The steaks, while generally acceptable, don't justify the premium pricing anymore. A Keg sirloin can run you $35 to $45 depending on location, yet multiple diners report the meat lacks the flavor intensity and tenderness you'd expect at that price point. Reviews frequently mention steaks that are good but not great, or fine but nothing special. The real issue is inconsistency across locations. Your experience at the Keg in Vancouver might be stellar, while Calgary or Toronto locations might disappoint. For a chain of this size and reputation, consistency should be their superpower. Instead, it's become their Achilles heel. Additionally, some locations show their age with dated decor that hasn't been refreshed in years. While the Keg pioneered the upscale casual steakhouse in Canada, they're now being outpaced by competitors who offer better quality at similar or lower prices. The Keg ranks here because they're riding on reputation more than current reality. They're far from bad. You'll get a reliable, safe steak. But for the money, you can do better. Think of them as the once dominant player that's been coasting while others innovated. Chop lands squarely in the middle of our rankings, and that placement is almost too generous. This Western Canadian chain, with locations primarily in BC, Alberta, and Ontario, positions itself as a premium steakhouse experience, but the execution is frustratingly uneven. When Chop gets it right, they really shine. Their steaks are USDA Prime or AAA Canadian beef, properly aged, and when cooked correctly, deliver rich, buttery flavor that justifies the high price tag. Their filet mignon, in particular, has earned praise from multiple diners for tenderness and taste. The atmosphere skews upscale without being stuffy, and the wine list is genuinely impressive. The sides are generally well executed. The lobster mac and cheese is decadent, and their Caesar salads are crisp and well-dressed. Service at Chop tends to be professional and attentive, which matters when you're spending $50 plus per person. So what's holding Chop back from a higher ranking? 2 words: location variability. Reviews show wild swings in quality depending on which Chop you visit. The downtown Vancouver location might deliver an excellent experience, while another location serves overcooked steak with blasé service. Additionally, the value proposition is questionable. You're paying premium steakhouse prices, often $60 to $80 for a steak, yet the consistency doesn't match chains that charge similar amounts. For that price point, every single visit should be memorable, not a gamble. Chop earns the middle spot because on their best day, they're genuinely good. On their worst day, you're overpaying for an underwhelming meal. In the steakhouse world, consistency is everything, and Chop hasn't mastered it yet. Next is the Keg's premium tier. But wait, isn't this the same chain we just criticized? Yes and no. The Keg operates several premium mansion locations in historic buildings like the Toronto Keg Mansion, and these locations deserve separate recognition. These flagship Keg locations elevate the brand significantly. The Toronto Keg Mansion, housed in a Victorian Gothic mansion, offers an entirely different experience from standard Keg locations. The atmosphere is genuinely upscale with historic architecture, elegant dining rooms, and attention to ambiance that regular Kegs can't match. More importantly, the food quality at these premium locations tends to be noticeably better. The steaks are more consistently cooked to temperature, portions feel more generous, and the overall execution shows more care. The prime rib at mansion locations regularly receives glowing reviews for being perfectly seasoned, tender, and flavorful. Service at these locations also steps up several notches. Servers are more knowledgeable about cuts, cooking methods, and wine pairings. You're paying for an experience here, not just a meal. However, even these premium kegs aren't perfect. The prices climb significantly higher than standard locations, as you'd expect. But some diners argue the markup doesn't fully match the quality increase. You're partly paying for the historic building and unique atmosphere, which is fine if that's what you value. These mansion locations rank higher because they demonstrate what the keg is capable of when they really try. If every keg location maintained this standard, they'd rank much higher overall. As it stands, these premium locations are worth seeking out for special occasions, but they represent the exception rather than the rule for the chain. Breaking into our top 3 is High's, and this is where we start talking about legitimate, old-school steakhouse excellence. High's has been serving steaks in Canada since 1955, with locations in Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, and Ottawa. High's is unapologetically traditional. Dark wood paneling, leather booths, dim lighting, and an atmosphere that feels like stepping into a 1960s gentleman's club. This isn't for everyone. The vibe is formal and can feel dated, but for classic steakhouse enthusiasts, it's exactly right. The steaks at High's are genuinely excellent. They serve USDA prime beef, properly aged for 28+ days, hand-cut, and cooked with precision. Their signature pepper steak, steak au poivre, is prepared tableside and showcases both culinary skill and theater. The filet mignon is consistently butter tender, while the ribeyes deliver that rich, marbled flavor serious steak lovers crave. Service at High's is impeccable. Servers are knowledgeable professionals who understand doneness, can recommend cuts based on preference, and execute tableside preparations flawlessly. This is white tablecloth service done right. The sides are classic steakhouse fare executed perfectly. Creamed spinach, baked potatoes, Caesar salad, prepared tableside, and béarnaise sauce that's legitimately house-made. Everything feels thoughtful and traditional. So why isn't High's ranked higher? 2 reasons: price and atmosphere. High's is expensive. Expect $70 to $100+ for a steak before sides and drinks. For special occasions, it's worth it. For regular dining, it's prohibitive for most Canadians. Additionally, that old-school atmosphere is polarizing. Younger diners often find it stuffy and overly formal. The dress code, enforced at some locations, and hushed, serious ambiance don't appeal to everyone. High's knows exactly what they are and who they serve, which is admirable, but it limits their appeal. High's ranks 3rd because when you want traditional steakhouse excellence and have the budget, they consistently deliver. The quality is there, the execution is there, and the experience is there. But the high prices and formal atmosphere keep them from the very top spots. Now, our runner-up, Cactus Club Cafe. This placement will shock many people. Cactus Club is the 2nd best steakhouse in Canada, a chain known for trendy atmosphere and diverse menus. Here's the thing. Cactus Club has quietly become one of Canada's best places to get an excellent steak at reasonable prices, and most people don't realize it. Cactus Club serves AAA Canadian beef and USDA prime steaks that are properly sourced and aged. Their certified Angus beef prime ribeye consistently receives rave reviews for being perfectly marbled, expertly seasoned, and cooked exactly to temperature. Even more impressive, it's priced lower than competitors charging for inferior cuts. Multiple reviews praise Cactus Club's steak execution. The kitchen seems to have mastered temperature control. Order medium rare, and you'll actually get medium rare. The char is perfect, adding flavor complexity without burning. The meat itself is high quality with excellent marbling and that deep, beefy flavor that comes from proper aging. The real secret weapon? Consistency. Across locations from Vancouver to Calgary to Toronto, Cactus Club maintains remarkably similar quality standards. This is shockingly rare for any chain, let alone one with their geographic spread. The atmosphere is upscale casual and modern. Think floor-to-ceiling windows, contemporary design, and an energetic vibe that welcomes both date nights and business lunches. Service is professional, friendly, and generally well-trained. Servers can answer questions about the beef and actually seem to care about your experience. The value proposition is unbeatable. As at the time of making this video, Cactus Club steak runs $35 to $50, yet rivals steaks costing $70 plus at traditional steakhouses. Yes, you're not getting the white tablecloth experience, but if the question is purely, where can I get an excellent steak in Canada? Cactus Club delivers. Cactus Club ranks second because they've cracked the code on accessible excellence. You get premium quality beef, expert preparation, consistent execution, and fair prices. The only thing holding them back from number one is that they're not a dedicated steakhouse. They excel at steak, but they excel at many things. Hold on, we're breaking our own rules here, but stay with us. For pure, dedicated steakhouse excellence when money isn't the primary concern, the Toronto Keg Mansion and Highs locations represent Canadian steakhouse dining at its finest. But for our true winner, the chain that delivers the best overall combination of quality, consistency, value, and experience across Canada. Mr. Mike's. Yes, we're going controversial. Mr. Mike's, the casual steakhouse chain with over 40 locations across Western Canada, takes our top spot, and here's why. Mr. Mike's has perfected the art of delivering genuinely good steaks at prices regular Canadians can actually afford more than once a year. Their steaks are AAA Canadian beef, hand-cut daily, and cooked with surprising care and consistency. The execution is what sets them apart. Reviews consistently praise Mr. Mike's for nailing the requested doneness, proper seasoning, and serving steaks that actually taste like quality beef. Their 8-ounce sirloin at $25 to $30 often outperforms competitors' steaks costing twice as much. The atmosphere is unpretentious and welcoming. No dress codes, no snobbery, just comfortable booths and a relaxed vibe where families, couples, and groups all feel at home. Service is generally friendly and attentive without being overbearing. But here's the real reason Mr. Mike's wins: value and consistency. At nearly every location across Western Canada, customers report getting properly cooked, flavorful steaks at fair prices. They've built their entire business model around making good steak accessible, and they've executed it brilliantly. Mr. Mike's doesn't shout about fancy certifications, but they clearly run a tight, chain-wide quality program. They stick to a consistent spec of Canadian AAA/Angus beef and follow the same playbook in every kitchen. That's why you can walk into a Mr. Mike's in Prince George or Kitchener and get a steak with the same proper char, accurate doneness, and familiar house seasoning. For a casual brand, that level of consistency is rare. It's the kind of quiet quality control a lot of bigger, flashier chains say they have, but don't always deliver on. Mr. Mike's takes the crown because they understand what most Canadians actually want: a really good steak at a price that doesn't require a special occasion. No pretension. No $100 bills. Just consistent, quality beef cooked right. So there you have it. Canadian steakhouse chains ranked from worst to surprisingly best. The chains that ranked higher delivered on what matters most: consistently excellent beef, proper cooking technique, fair pricing, and experiences that make you want to return. The bottom-ranked chains got distracted by trying to be everything, cut corners on quality, or simply coasted on reputation without maintaining standards. What do you think? Did your favorite chain get robbed? Are you shocked by our winner? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this ranking helpful, hit that subscribe button. We're exposing the truth about Canadian brands and businesses that affect your wallet every single week. Remember, knowledge is power. Now you know where to spend your hard-earned money and where to avoid wasting it.